Well, I'm a sucker for some pretty eyes, but they're going home with some other boy tonight. Hell, I guess I'll be fine. There's one girl
We're here on one
that's
today.
all mine.
Let's see, this is a carrier. And this is a pretty old one here. And so, kind of want to do step by step on this one. So our thermostat's on. Indoor unit's coming on. As you can see, our outdoor unit's doing nothing. So I didn't break the testos out because I only do that on units that are running because it's just a little bit more setup time anyway. So come out here, and what's the first thing we do? First thing we do when we come out to a unit, guys. Well, first thing I do is I come out, touch the unit with the back of my hand. You don't want to touch the unit if it's gone to ground. If the unit has lost ground and one of the hots have gone to the casing ground and the whole case is hot. Guys have died like this, walking up and doing this. And then it grabs and then they can't let go. So I always touch the unit with my back of my hand first thing. So now, what's the first thing we do as far as the diagnosis? Well, we're going to see if we got anything coming in on our low voltage, right? Okay, so we come down here in our low voltage and we go from our common, if it'll focus here, our common there on the light blue to our yellow terminal right here. So go across the yellow, and that blue, Y to C. What do we got? We got 26, okay, going in. So we got a board on this unit. Well, what's our next step? Well, I'm gonna check and make sure if we got voltage coming out of our board, go into our contactor. So we're gonna pull this Y off here, and we're gonna check Y to our common. Okay, so we do that. We go Y to common, and what do we get? Well, on this one, we got 26. So we're coming out of our board. So what's our next step, guys? Next step is going to be, why isn't our contactor pulling in? Well, if you trace the wire out of the board, the wire doesn't go to the contactor immediately. It goes down the little trace here. It goes down and around. Oh, I hate my iPhone. Go to a pressure switch here. So, what else is breaking our circuit? This is a high pressure. Looks like it's on the high side line. So normally it'll have a high and it may go through a low too, but on this one we just come right back up and we go right to the contactor here. So either this is bad or our contactor's bad. So let's test our voltage here at our contactor. We don't even really need to take the wire loose. We'll just go from one side to the other and we should have 24. Let's do that now. We'll just go to volts here. And we're going to test our contactor. With one hand, guys. One hand. Okay. We don't have any voltage at our contactor. So that means either our switch is bad. So here's our stem here on our valve. We've got our stem open. Got gauge hooked up. What do we got? Not good. Not good at all. Safe to assume that she's got a leak because she's out of refrigerant, right? Well, we could really mess up bad on this one if we just stopped right here. Okay? If we just went in and we just said, oh, you got a leak, and we, you know, it's going to be so much to find the leak and so much to fix the coil if it's out here or if it's in there or whatever. But what we could do is we could put the coil in, fix the leak, and the compressor be bad. Usually when the Freon runs out, the Freon cools the compressor will overheat if it's low on Freon. So what we need to do now is check our compressor. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our meter on our common coming from our contactor to our compressor. And here we are. Our yellow, here's our run. But either one, runner, I usually just come on the common there. And so we're going to see what kind of amperage we're pulling. So let's go over here, let's select amperage. And we plug it up and we turn it on. I had it unhooked here because I was checking the capacitor just to make sure before I took my amperage reading, just to check the capacitor to see if it was at rating or if the cap was bad. Sometimes you can get a real quick, the cap will be bad there. So okay, well, we got it hooked back up here. Let's see what our amperage is. Now, I don't have a hold on this particular meter here. For some reason, Fieldpiece took away the hold feature on their meters. But anyway, maybe I can get it to focus here. Alright, let's plug it in and see what we got. Put my block in, and all we're going to do is we're just going to press in on the contactor and see what our amperage is. So you saw it momentarily there, we're about 80 amps. So our compressor's not starting and we're pulling 80 amps. Okay, sorry about that. There could be a couple different reasons why. We might not have 220 going to our compressor because this is we could have one pole of our contactor bad. So let's check that and just make sure we got 220 out of our contactor. And if we got 220 out of our contactor there and we got 220 at our compressor, then we'll diagnose the compressor as bad. So I could check it here, but actually we could also have a bad connection here at our compressor. So I'm going to take this cover off this compressor, and we'll take a look at the box there where the wiring connects to it and make sure we don't have a bad connection at our compressor there. Let's go back. Let's got the cover off. I did test the resistances in our compressor. We're looking good. So our next step is to measure that voltage coming from that contactor, make sure our compressor is getting 220. So let's do that. I got my leads in. Here's my meter. And let's punch in the contactor and see what we get here. So we got 240 at our compressor. So there's no doubt about it on this one, guys. Alright, so we finally located it. Yep, it's a reversing valve. But good deal. So we can just replace the condenser and get this taken care of for this customer. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, thank you to everybody who does a video, no matter how long, how short, no matter what it's about, as long as it's HVAC related, that you guys take the time to make the movie and edit and share the information and all that. It takes time and it takes effort, and we don't get anything from it other than just trying to help everybody else out. So I want to thank everybody, the whole entire HVAC community. I'm not, there's a whole lot more techs that are a whole lot more smarter than me and better than me, but I believe that each and every one of us have knowledge that can benefit other people. You know, kind of like that saying, we're all geniuses, just in our own way. So just thank you, big shout out to everybody in the HVAC community. Thank you so much, guys. You are my inspiration, and you keep me going during the bad times. Thanks a lot. All right, guys.